Welcome back. The U.S. is facing a worsening drug epidemic. Life expectancy has fallen to its lowest level since 1996, and that's fueled largely by overdoses.
Yeah, it's a pretty shocking number. I mean, users are turning to drugs not just for recreation, but really as an escape, a quick way to sort of mask their deeper emotional pain. Family clinical psychologist Dr. Jen Hartstein joins us now. You know, Dr. Jen, drugs are sort of an easy, ready-made, quick fix for people who just want to escape. But how do you sort of encourage people to explore the deeper things that may actually be triggering that?
It's a very, very hard line, right? Because we do promote kind of drinking, and it becomes like, oh, we're hanging out, let's drink to relieve our stress. So there's a normalization of some of this that we can't take alcohol out of the substance abuse mix, right? We have to kind of think about all of this. So if we don't want that to be the message, we have to start talking about what's causing you to be stressed.
Right.
Let's have open and honest conversations. Let's have direct conversations. Let's start teaching earlier and younger how to self-regulate so we don't have to look to drugs and alcohol for any of that. You know, and I think those are really important things we have to think about. But we know from the DARE programs from when I was younger, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fear tactics don't work, especially for young people. They will see right through that. So direct, honest, truthful information, and then like kind of checking in over it over time.
When you say truthful information, what do you mean?
Well, if I'm going to talk to you about the risks of cocaine use, I'm not going to look at you and be like, don't do cocaine, it burns your brain. It's not helpful. But I'm going to say, hey, cocaine, you know, it can really make you feel excited and up, but it has all these downsides. Let's do a little research. Let's look at what's happening and what happens to your brain chemistry when you do it over time. And is that what you want? And really just talk about it, right? We can't shy away from it and never do it again or I'll kick you out of the house also isn't probably going to get you what you want. So we want to just
really good advice.
You know, have conversations.
Yeah, definitely. Let's also talk about kind of the changing landscape of drug legalization. We know in several states marijuana is now legalized. In some other states, harder drugs are either legalized or being used in these medical studies. How does that complicate this issue and this conversation around it, potentially for somebody who might be struggling?
It can definitely kind of make it a little murky, right? Because it's kind of, are we giving you permission to be doing something that can be harmful? And we can argue, that's probably a whole nother show, right? We can argue the pros and cons of all of that. But I think at the end of the day, checking in with yourself about what are my risk factors for substance use, right? So do I have higher likelihood of mental health issues in my family? Do I have higher likelihood of a temperament that might make me want to be riskier or more anxiety? These are things that are kind of red flags for us. Trauma history is a red flag for many. So we want to be aware of what those things might be before we step into it. We're not going to stop the legalization, but if we increase our awareness of risk, we might make it easier and better for people to kind of know what their limits are and what they can do.
You talked about the red flags in sort of the big picture sense, but what about the red flags when it comes to individual action? I'm fascinated by something you said at the beginning, reminding us that alcohol is a part of this, right? It's the holiday season. People drink. There are industries where, you know, it's more social than others, right? Like, what are the sort of red flags that you would tell people to look out for that this may be trending in a more damaging direction?
More dangerous direction. It's you know your people, right? So if you see someone really leaning into, I only used to have one glass of wine, now I'm having multiple, or every night when I go home I have to have more than one, or I'm talking a lot about, oh, I'm smoking weed to relax, like, and these are all my outlets. They become the primary coping skill. Then we want to kind of say to somebody, hey, I'm worried about you. Or even for yourself, hey, I noticed that my use has changed, and it's not just because of the holidays, it's before and after the holidays, or I can't stop thinking about when my next use can be. We have to ask ourselves.
Is that sort of how you do it? I mean, how do you even approach that conversation with someone?
It's hard, but if you are worried about someone, I think kind of like with the conversations about being truthful and honest to begin with, you have to go to someone and say, hey, I'm really worried about you, and here's why, and here are the signs I'm observing, and this is why I am. Maybe we say, hey, let's find you someone to talk to. Let's go get some professional help if you need it. Lean into supports you might have. And if it's really down the line and you don't know that you can do it yourself, there are interventionists that you can bring in to work with your family and other supports to confront people on what they're doing and why you're worried about them.
And I think that's so important, back to the point you made earlier about making it that open conversation, not you're in trouble or
we are worried.
The dramatization of it, right?
Yeah, we're worried. I'm feeling this way about what's happening, and this is why I want to talk to you about it.
Dr. Jen Hartstein, really important conversation. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Great to see you.